Jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out that more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Big shout out to the first in the building. Carlos on deck. WCS salute, the hottest chat in the MFing game. Salute to you, brother. Big shout out. One love. You already know what it is. Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, my brother on deck. What it do, man? Salute WCS, my big bro. Let's go. Yeah, it's good to see you in the AM, bro. You know what I'm saying? Heading into Thanksgiving. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, in the building. You already know Arnold Brown is on deck. One love, man. WCS salute at work. Waiting for you to cook. Yes, no doubt. The Hot Grease is here once again early in the AM, man, to jumpstart your week. It's Monday. It's Thanksgiving. A lot of y'all are on work, out work, on work, out work, whatever you're going to do. But today is Thanksgiving week. So I know a lot of y'all trying to wrap it up, get shit done so you can get ready for the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? You get ready for the holiday season. You already know what it is. Let them get them handouts. WCS cause all Bud gonna do is hand out ass whoopings. Let's get active. You gotta tap the desk twice. Team Crawford get active. You know what I'm saying? Team Crawford get active. So let me first shout out to Thinkers Think. What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you, brother. One love, man. I must give a big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know, man. I got to address the youngin, Brian Norman Jr. I hit you on DM. I was like, hey, I'm gonna give you 24 hours now to produce that evidence. Now, let me give you a backstory because I'm not on no bullshit. And respect to them, respect to his father. Me and his father talked on the phone. But I need to tell my audience what exactly is going on because I feel it's essential for me to clear up what was said from Norman Senior on the strip, when he was out there doing a live, and he was saying F. They don't know shit about boxing. They don't fuck with us or whatever, based off the strength of what supposedly Norman Jr. said to him. All right. Now Norman Jr. is 25-0 coming off a win of Quentin Randall. All right. I really don't care. I'm not going to talk about the fight. That's not what it is. I'm really just talking about respect and the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not the first time. This is not the first time. And me being up in age, I'm from down south. He from down south. We was told, me, I don't fuck with people, kids, real talk. Like I fuck with the ones that's older around my age group because they just don't know any better. But when they down in their 20s, I try to leave them niggas alone for real. Because there's nothing that I have for them. Really, I got my own kids to raise, right? But check this out. Like I gave you a live before. I remember when I was down here, covering boxing in the ATL, man, and people's like, hey, we see you out here, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? We like what you're doing. And then you start covering this fighter, that fighter, this fighter, that fighter. And then it gets to the point where you start to think about what people are telling you. Hey, man, it's difficult to really cover boxing down here because, a lot of the fighters don't act like they care to be covered. They don't care about what you're doing for them. It's never enough. And I don't really group everybody into the same baskets like it's a crab roll. You know what I'm saying? Like we having a seafood buffet. I don't do that shit. But I truly found out that it takes one or two or a situation to happen for these cats just to talk to one another, and then they want to turn their back on you. You ain't never did anything for them. I mean, never did anything to them. Never did anything to them. So I think it's in my right, being that this is not the first time I felt that Norman Jr. was taking a shot at me. For whatever reason, man. For whatever reason, he don't respect what I do. And he had to, let his pops know something that wasn't absolutely untrue. It was an absolute lie. This is where I'm at with it. This fight between him and Randall was made on the YouTube shit, the YouTube airways, and it popped off the way it did. And they went in there and fought, and Norman won. It's not a now post. Channeling my down south energy. It's not a now post. It's not a now post. It's not a now post that you can show a date that WCS made a comment about Norman Jr. that he was going to get beat by Quentin Randall. It's not a now post. But somehow, some way, my name was from the ATL to the South all the way over there in Vegas. Somebody somehow took it upon to not just, focus on Norman, because I don't know if this is entirely true, but I'm addressing Norman because he shot me a text in the DM. All right. I don't know what fuck nigga told him some shit. I don't know the fuck nigga that told Brian Norman some shit. I don't know. That name wasn't disclosed. I want to talk to the fuck nigga that told you that, because you need to stop listening to these cats. You know what I'm saying? If they're affiliated with somebody that I don't fuck with, then that should tell you right there to stop believing these niggas, man. But it's not now post on the YTC that says I was going to say that Randall was going to beat you. No public post whatsoever that I said Randall was going to beat Norman Jr. And Norman's out my backyard as close as you can get. As close as you can get. And as I told you all, I never had no freaking issue with Norman Jr. down here. He's out of sight, out of mind. He do what he do. He quiet. You know what I'm saying? Just like Devin Haney was, Shakur. These fighters are talking a lot more. The most I seen him online was after the tank sparring, the BLK bullshit. That's the most I seen him on here. You know what I'm saying? So it gets to the point where I get I get this shit in my DM, right? And I didn't know too much what was going on. I just happened to wake up to this shit in the DM. And he said, he said, I know you thought dude was gonna beat me, but it's all right, player. I appreciate you in the past, but I see you. And that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, what is this? What is this dude talking about? What do you do? What you doing? You got my number. Your pops got my number. Why shoot me something in the DM for? And you already fought. This is 2 something in the morning. Then Norman Jr. Learn some professionalism, bro. I'm not your homie. I'm not one of these little young niggas out here, bro. Like I'm in my 50s, man. I'm from the South. I respect my elders. I respect your pops for you being his kid. So certain places I won't go with you because I respect your pops. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it down here in the South. You don't go at the youngest unless the youngest coming at you. You got to learn that shit. Boxing doesn't stop the way you act. You can go ahead and box and still have some professionalism. But if you had something you want to ask me, you should have asked me. Now I guess you've gotten real comfortable with approaching me and just feeling that you can say whatever you want when it comes to this boxing game. So somehow, some way, Brian, somebody told you that WCS had written on the post that I had freaking Quentin Randall beating you. Somebody told you, or you seen it somewhere. No matter how you put it, if someone told you, you seen it somewhere. All I did was ask you to screenshot the post. Screenshot the post that I said it. This is the tech era. You can't just go up here and tell somebody, oh, I seen it somewhere on the post. No, brother. No, you didn't see it nowhere in the post. It's all a lie, man. It's a sham, bro. Some fuck nigga told you some bullshit just so I can be a part of the deflection game. You didn't see me write nobody writing that on nobody post. You know what they do this time? They hurry up and screenshot and put it up and attach it to something. You could have sent me that already. You never sent it to me. You never sent it to me, bro. You think I don't have the right? You tell your pops who put it out to the general public and at me and have people dropping shit. That's extra attention I'm getting that I don't need. And there's no disrespect to the senior. I talked to him on the phone, but still I have to address this. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. You're a grown man. But you feel it easy to say, I appreciate you in the past, but I see you, you thought dude was gonna beat me player and all that. What player shit? Who did I think that was gonna beat you that you seen or somebody told you they seen? Why couldn't you screenshot the post? All this shit for you to take energy and tell your pops that this is what happened. Scotty said this, another one, Scotty. Somebody from your own backyard now. Somebody from your own backyard that just came up to the gym to try to get some media on the fight. When have I violated Brian Norman Jr., y'all? He came down here and sparred Jahi Tucker, and they allowed it to be recorded, and I never even put the sparring footage out there. I gave it to freaking Shaw News. I never even put the shit out there. How I violated you, boy? How I disrespected you, Brian? This is how the routine works. Anybody who know me, when I said Brian, with the sparring situation and all that, I bigged him up and everything. I didn't cut corners with saying, him and Tank was some legendary sparring. You know what I'm saying? He had some good sparring with Bud Crawford. but I did clarify he didn't knock Bud Crawford down. You know what I'm saying? While people was up here lying, talking about that did happen. But the first time, you start taking shots at me with Williams Jr. You want to come to me and talking about tell your boy I want this, this, and this. No, you tell his pops. He has a father like you. Why are you coming to me? That's the first time. You kept on saying you want 150, you want 150, you want 150, and all this other shit. Then when you and Jahi sparred, you was up there acting like you didn't know his name. He didn't. He said he don't have no power. I ain't feel nothing. That's you taking a shot through me at a fighter that came over there looking for work when you could have very well turned and talked to his pops. His pops is younger than me. So once again, you're channeling all this through me. You're channeling all this through me. So whatever happened between the months that passed by or whatever the case may be, I don't fucking know. I'm steadily trying to support the fighters out my backyard. I just went over to the gym and tried to cover you or whatever. I seen the vibe was off for whatever reason. These cats act like, dude, what type of time is it? Like what are we doing? You approached me twice about two fighters and you could approach their father. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't even know Quentin Randall like that. Once again, I'm doing my due diligence with media. I interviewed him before because he fought down here on the Triller card. I interviewed several fighters on the Triller card. I was helping the promotion out. They reached out to me to interview the fighters on the Triller card. That's what I was doing. That's how deep my resume go. I was helping out. But I don't know Quinn from anybody. But one thing I will say, every time I call his numbers to talk to him about boxing, it wasn't an interview. I called him up sometime, light chat, what's going on. I even asked him about another boxer, Errol Spence Jr., that he was sparring with, shit like that. The man always pick up the phone. Ain't on some bullshit. But this little back and forth bullshit that happened between, Georgia and Texas and the fight being made and who want to take, credit for the fight being made was just what I'm gonna channel my proper side. It was a bunch of malarkey. It was a bunch of gibberish and baloney. Because I know damn well this fight, like both fighters wasn't even ranked in the top 30. But yet WCS names get brought up on the live stream on the Vegas Strip. And some people who know me, they was like, what is this? What is this about? Why can't it be some shit like you are accrediting him for something? You appreciate the WCS coming over there and doing a little bit of media. Appreciate Mark Nash for coming over there doing some media. You know what I'm saying? But no, out of all the ads, only two people get blasted. Myself and Shaw News. You know what I'm saying? Myself and Shaw News. Now, I know a lot of people are getting mad at me because I support Team Tucker and I support Shaw News, right? What they're not gonna tell you is shit they don't know about. Like there's a lot of shit they don't know about, like I went through before. They can get mad at shit about what they don't know. It's a lot of things they want to assume, but not to get off topic with Brian Norman, right? Brian Norman told his pops that he's seen where WCS wrote some shit in there saying that Quentin Randall would defeat him in this match. I'm still waiting on the screenshot, brother. When all of your core values and anything you learned in life down here in the South, bro. If you lied on me and you never saw that post and you told your pops and pops did what pops was going to react to, he's going to take it, man, because, Brian Sr.'s outspoken. That's just how he is. And he's going to take it to the public and blast me like that. You were the source of that. He wouldn't know anything about blasting WCS in a negative light. Somebody don't know shit about boxing, which is a lie. But why? Bro, you got to apologize, man. You have to apologize, Brian. We always talk about black this, black that. Who's supporting who? Man, who's the black nigga that was supporting you back in the day? I ain't ever asked y'all for shit. Y'all would be at fight cards and y'all don't even know. I went through the promoter to get to that shit. I didn't ask y'all for nothing. I asked y'all for coverage, and that was it. If you can't find a screenshot on me, bro, you need to let that go and apologize. You need to man up, bro. This grown man shit, bro. You need to man up because you up here talking about my brand. You talking about WCS as a whole, and that ain't cool, bro. That ain't cool. That is not cool, man. If you felt what I said after the fight that your fight that you and Quentin Randall was mediocre, it was a subpar performance, then get in line with all the other people that's criticizing. How you gonna just take aim at a social media segue? How you gonna take aim and say, I'm gonna take the easy target. I'm gonna take Scotty. Yeah, he in my backyard. I'm gonna take Scotty. No, bro, no. I want to hear a screen. I want to see a screenshot. I want to see it, bro, because you owe me that. You took the time to send me a text, all bullshit you didn't know nothing about, and then you want to tell your dad who blasts me on freaking IG Live. No, man, stop taking shots at me, bro, like because it feels good. Y'all know very well I'll be out here at these fights, and I be doing my due diligence to cover boxing. Y'all know that shit, man. But if you tell your pop some shit I did and you don't have a screenshot, it's bullshit, bro. You want some old, you want some different type of time. You have ulterior motives to call me out like that. And you know what? If you have that respect and you can't present that screenshot to me now, you owe me an apology because you up here starting some shit that went from whoever told you that bullshit to your dad bringing it out to the general public. That ain't cool, man. You know, my World Combat Sports ain't a freaking doormat. We ain't just out here walking on World Combat Sports just because other people don't like me. That's in this social media game. Just because I don't support a certain freaking organization or community of people, or just because I don't support that fighter. You said that you got another one. But the one thing about what confuses me is that your pop said, I think World Combat Sports. And I really latch on the words, you know, especially words that don't are concise, straight to the point. Think to me isn't definitive. But if you mention somebody's name out in public and it is a negative rant, what's supposed to happen? You're supposed to have the receipts. You're supposed to have the evidence, right? I haven't seen the evidence. I haven't seen the evidence. I don't want no screenshot shit. I don't want nobody trying to goddamn put my logo up there and all that. No. I want the date. I want the big screenshot. I want to see the date. I want to see the date of this motherfucking post. I want to see where I put it at. I want everything. I don't want no damn small ass screenshot with somebody done type something in today and damn use my logo and all that. I know how I speak. And a lot of niggas I don't fuck with. First of all, I would like to know who posts that I've come in on. Who posts? Because leading up to the fight, I wouldn't comment on anybody's post on IG. I don't even usually comment on people's shit on IG like that about no damn fight. So I'm just gonna let you know, Norman, you owe me an apology, bro, because you up here telling your pop something that caused him to react and bring it out to the general public. No, man, I'm not no doormat, nigga. I'm not no player either. You got people around you. You know what I'm saying? You got someone on your team is just as old as I am. Do you call him player? You're sitting up here making up shit that affects people. You up here acting like I'm stabbing you in the back for no reason when other people support you. But yeah, you want to sit up here and act like, oh, Scotty ain't support me. Oh, man, it's all Scotty's fault. When Scotty was walking his ass around the ATL supporting people, then what? Did I go around and ask for people's damn credit? Did I ask for you to vouch for me? Did I ask for people to vouch for what I was doing? No, I was moving and grooving as I see fit. If I choose to go outside the grid of Georgia, shit, what does that say? I can. I'm not just limited to Georgia, covering Georgia fighters. If shit was popping off over there in NYC and shit was getting back, what does that say to me? Y'all look, Brian, you overlook a lot of shit that I do that's professional. And I do look at you as still lacking some maturity at your age when it comes to me. Because who would have put this shit out there without providing some receipts, man? You know how social media work. You know how social media work, man. Every time I done came in the gym, I gave you your respect. But when it comes down to shit like this, no, brother, you have to be it has to be explained and understood. You know what I'm saying? It has to be explained and understood. If you're gonna come up here with some information that I was talking shit about you, or better yet, I thought, okay, let's put it in this way. You thought that I had um Quentin Randall beating you. You don't have no screenshot, no proof of evidence. You just going off something you supposed to read, or a fuck nigga came up there and told you a lie. I'm thinking a fuck nigga came up there and told you a lie. That's what I think. I think somehow, some way, you might not have read the shit because you had other stuff you was dealing with. I don't think, to be honest, but check this out. If I was to say Quentin Randall was beating Brian Norman Jr., is that a crime at the end of the day? Is there like bed nods going on? Is that a crime just because I'm out of the ATL? Is that a crime? Am I considered a ship jumper, so to speak? Which which to me is just unbelievable because listen, prior to this fight, this shit just came out of nowhere, and people are bloviating situations as if it's illegal. Like you're going against the judicial system. If someone goes for this fighter other than the next fighter, is it considered illegal? Is it considered criminal? No, it's not. So I don't know what's all this damn uproar is about, man. People up here bitching and crying about who support who, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? What are you mad about? If you got the win, you got the win. But don't be lying on another content creator, that's in your backyard. That's messy, bro. That's messy. I've been there before. Yeah. You remember, Brian? You remember? You remember when Jahi Tucker fought Andre Smith? I didn't even know the cat, but I had heard people back in my hometown tell my Scotty, I hope he support the fighters out of his backyard. Like I didn't support that nigga. And I didn't support the next nigga. And I ain't support the next nigga. But just because I didn't know Andre, I did not know him. I didn't remember. And then I spoke to him at the place, and I still gave that man respect for stepping in there, and I interviewed him. I have no problem with Vic. Me and Vic, we see each other in passing. We say, what's up? I didn't know he was fighting Andre. Andre ended up getting stopped by Jahi Tucker. Look, that wasn't the first time he stepped in the ring and lost. But y'all was up here making it seem like, oh, all of a sudden, Scotty's up here supporting Jahi. No, I was supporting Jahi before DeAndre got called up. And DeAndre was cool as a fan. You know what I'm saying? He was cool as a fan. He still did the interview. He didn't act like he was in a rush. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on until people start once again dropping DMs to my niggas up here. Oh, well, I hope this and I hope that. Why are you hoping? Out of all the fighters that I tried to cover when I was there, from Tank Davis, look, no, from way back in the day now. Look, check this out, people. Check this out, listeners. I'm talking about Mustafa. Shout out to Mustafa Boxing, right? Mustafa has had 5 locations, I think. Or 4. He used to be over in Decatur, right? At the old Wayfield Foods back in the day. Tank Davis and them came through there. The cats from Baltimore came in there to fight week, all that. I went in there to support the fighters over there, bro. I seen the Kari Scott before he was a professional when they was talking about sending him to the Olympic trials, all that shit. I seen him spar Najee Lopez, and Lopez's father was in there at that time. All that, right? Then he moved up on Glenwood, tried to go up in there, cover the fighters, Hot Rod, the Lopez brothers, all that. Snipe, Mo Millions, all them cats in there. I even saw Javon Woodard up in there sometimes. Tay Jones was up in there. All that. All that shit, bro. Then he moved over across the street, went up in there a couple of times. I was trying to goddamn support. Then went up to the next gym he's at right now. Even when I see these cats outside of their gym, still fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? We had the weigh-ins down here with Tank Davis. Still went over there and interviewed these youngins that was on the sidewalk, showed some love, right? Every time I just seen Mo Millions up in South Carolina on the card. Show him love because he's out in the backyard. Where's all this shit that one thing is relegated? And not to mention my boy Carlos Jackson. Like, I done been on know how many places with Carlos Jackson. That's my dude. That's my guy, man. He's in a different plan. Me and Los, we on some different shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He's on some other, boxing, some business shit. But that's my guy. It's plenty of other fighters that I see and know down here that I try to damn support. No ifs, ands, and buts about it, man. But to have one fighter on a fight that's in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, I'm just trying to find out what the motive was. What was your motive for pretty much saying that WCS was going for Quentin Randall? And for me to be labeled a ship jumper. Hey man, I just had to put my listeners out there for a little bit. I don't expect no apology. I don't expect you to do what a man's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and apologize for being wrong and stop listening to fuck niggas tell you shit in your ear about me. If I'm not included in your everyday living, you know what I'm saying? You got a positive life going on. You got your pops in your life. You got the business going on. Y'all doing shit outside the box. Why mention niggas like me? I'm not even freaking in your life. I'm not hindering anything you got going on, bro. But if you're gonna say some shit about me that causes somebody to react and put it out to the general public, you need to produce receipts on that shit. Not just say it that somebody, I think, somebody, I got another one. Don't include me in the fuck nigga games. Don't include me in the community of fuck niggas telling you shit that you can't verify, you don't want to verify. And the more fucked up I talk about it, the more fucked up it get, to the point where the code I live by, and it's done me very, very good, is that if somebody tell me some shit about a nigga, I gotta find out. I gotta get closer to him by linking up to them to see if they said it. See, one thing God blessed me with, if something comes out and be able to read somebody's demeanor or whatever, you can tell if they lying or not. You know what I'm saying? The best way to understand if someone really is not in your best interest and somebody told you something they said, well, go out there and ask them. You got the phone number, you got the DM. You use my DM for at 2 a.m. You use my DM to say what again? Of all people that you should be worried about, you could hit Tim Bradley up. You can hit all the commentators up, Joe Tessitore. You can hit all them up that was criticizing you on that fight. But you want to hit me like you see me on a regular basis, Brian. You don't see me on a regular basis. You don't donate to my channel. You don't donate to my channel, man. You ain't supporting me heavy like that. So why should you care to hit me up and tell me, I appreciate what you did in the past. I see you now. You see what? You see me on ESPN? Where you see me at? You see me out there covering boxing? You see me outside the grid square, Georgia? That's where you see me at? I don't get credit for that, right? You see me out there covering Jahi Tucker? I don't get it, man. Y'all need to stop running. I'm not the gateway to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here talking my boxing shit. Y'all know that. But I'm not some, you know what I'm saying, just group me in with a bunch of niggas when it comes to them being messy and drama. Let me get some drama off. WCS said this about you. It's some niggas out there that want to plot on me because I talk my shit. But you got to be understanding of this, Brian. You got to be smart enough not to believe them same niggas that you think you close to. But every time they open their mouth, they saying something about the same nigga just because they want to run game through you to get to me. They want me to come on here and talk about you to say, oh, he's going at Brian. I'm not going at you. I'm addressing something that you put out to me via the DM and you never apologize for it. That's not the way men do business, man. If you lied on somebody, you need to the same way you put it out. You can use a DM and say, hey man, I produce no screenshot. You can't produce a screenshot, it's a lie then. Because the person who told you say they saw it somewhere, they can produce you a screenshot to prove it to you that I said it. So when your pop say, I think World Combat, nobody ain't listen to the THINK. They're looking at to what he said, ship jumpers, and people don't know shit about boxing, whatever the case he said. I'm off that. I'm off that. I'm putting that link in the chat. If Brian Norman want to come up here and you listen in, the link is there just for Brian Norman Jr. Because I'm curious to know who told you that. I'm curious to know where you heard it from. But that link is just for Brian Norman Jr. Because how can somebody in my backyard hear some shit? You heard some shit that I said, and you just can't hit me up. Hey man, I just wanted to hit you up about something. I'm not saying you did it. I want to hit you up. Did you put on a post or something? And because I like specifics, right? Did you put on the post or something on this post right here and this person that this, that, and the other? I would have said no, that's not true. Then if he would have presented me some evidence, then I would have taken a look at it. I said, well, I don't know where you got this from. Can you give me a bigger screenshot of it? Who and what? I would have dug a little deeper. Who and what? Where you get this from? Because I can't tell you nothing from this small ass screenshot with a logo. That ain't it. That ain't it. You gotta have time. You gotta give me the full blown picture. If I was in somebody's chat, if I was on somebody's damn post on IG, on Facebook or whatever, hey, we know technology. Screenshot the motherfucker, man. I want to know because it's easy to switch logos with somebody, especially if they hating. But I want to know, where did I make this comment that you told your pops that he can go live in public and at people and make it seem like I was shitting on Norman Jr., which is not true. Shout out to Big Bunsen Boxing. The GOAT is in the building. What's good with it, bro? Tyrese on deck. Salute to you. Al Money, what's good? Hey, let them know, thinkers think. I don't know, man. People just sit up here and, just want to group you with any old time they want to start some, get some attention outside for somebody to talk and mention their name. Look, if you want some attention from me, this is not gonna last long because I'm not gonna talk about you like that all the time. I just when it's about me, I deserve an apology because neither one of y'all have been able to produce a screenshot of me saying anything that Randall was gonna beat you. And then the main one that was talking about Javante Davis sparring that went viral was me. I don't like how they trying to throw smut on my man's WCS name. Man, that's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy how that shit works. Now, all you have to do, you get a couple of niggas that don't like you for whatever reason. Look, I know how this whole shit is. I know the whole entire look. I can go from A to B on how all this shit started. I can tell you the primary shit starters, the antagonists, not just with this incident, but how the whole shit started down here with niggas trying to goddamn feel some type of way about me not, fucking with certain niggas on the YTC. That's how all this shit started. That's all. You know what I'm saying? You get niggas that don't want to goddamn fuck with you because you don't fuck with other niggas that's on the YTC. You know what I'm saying? So what do they do? Well, what I tell you they do? They start with niggas in your backyard. Oh, don't fuck with so and so. Oh, don't fuck with so and so. Don't fuck with. Half of these niggas don't even see me. Except when I'm on fight week or something and I'm out there covering the fight. They don't see me. They busy rolling around with niggas that look, they have a worse background than I ever could have. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that's done fucked up in life and took L's, and they rather goddamn show their loyalty and support to niggas like that than a nigga that had 20 years of successful military service. That's not enough. I'm a square. I'm fucked up if I get freaking military pension every month. My kids go to college for free. I'm fucked up for that. But these niggas wasn't with me on the lonely ass bus ride when I was 17 years old, riding up for those footprints. They wasn't with me on the struggle, you know what I'm saying, going through the first 4 or 5 years of my military service, trying to kick the city habit and getting in trouble and doing all that other shit. No, these niggas weren't with me. They just look at an old nigga right now and tell, oh man, hey, he this and that. His channel ain't big. Hey, he ain't gonna be able to retire from YouTube like we are. That nigga, he wasting his time. He ain't gonna be able to retire from YouTube like me. Let's say you did pick Randall to win. What's the problem? It's just a sports opinion. That's what I say, Tyrese. That's what I say. Why come for the nigga in your backyard though? That you really don't fuck with. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's not try to victimize people. You know what I'm saying? If you really ain't fuck with me, you ain't fuck with me. Okay. The thing he told me, oh, stop calling me assassin. I call you assassin 20, 30 other times. Stop calling me assassin. I'm Junior. Okay, Junior. Why are you hitting me in my DM? Explain that to me. That ain't cool, bro. You can't produce no damn screenshot. It didn't happen, bro. Another High Grease Chronicles, man, on deck. We need to talk about how kings move different. This really something to me that's way more important. But before I get on that, I want to talk about Jahi Tucker. Jahi Tucker back on deck, man. December 9th in Florida. You know what I'm saying? He's back on deck. One of the most exciting rising talents, in the game. And I still think he's a rising star in the game because, his fight. Let me bring his box rec up right quick. So let me share this with you right quick. So this is Jahi Tucker box rec, right? He's 10-1, 5 knockouts, right? 20 years old. 20 years old in the game. Look, he first started fighting back in 2020 and damn near at the postpartum of the pandemic depression. You know what I'm saying? Peep this out though. Came in the game, fought DeAndre Anderson, right? 4 rounders. He came in September 2020, fought DeAndre Anderson, Charles Garner. Both of these tough fights now. Eric Rodriguez. Israel Barbosa. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about October 2020, February 2021, June 2021. Keep on moving. Jorge Sosa stopped him in the second round, October 2021. Akeem Black, which was a beast. Akeem was no joke. Stopped him in the second round, right? That was in January 2022. Moving on, Tracy Magruder. He was a big dog. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no slouch. Then DeAndre Smith out of the ATL. Shout out to DeAndre, man. June 2022. Stopped him in the fourth round. Jose Sanchez, September 2022. That is his fourth fight. One, two, three, fourth. His fourth fight in 2022. Then he goes into the biggest fight of his career. Okay. When you see Jose Luis Sanchez, that was his first eighth rounder. All right. You go back down here. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then his ninth fight. Did I even get that right? I don't think I got that right. Yeah. Yeah, his ninth fight. He's fighting an eighth rounder with Jose Luis Sanchez. And he went the distance, right? Then he goes up here in his 10th fight and fight Nicholas Seknishvili in an 8-round fight, his second 8-round fight. All right. And that was April 2023 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Very, very, good air. The energy was good and all that. That was one of his best performances because he was absolutely on gorilla time and he fought a guy. Let's click on. Let me show you some things now. Seknishvili is 8-2-6 now. Okay. He hasn't fought since Jahi Tucker beat down, right? This is Xander Zayas sparring partner. And this dude was big. I want to show you the weight classes his opponent was fighting in. As high as light heavyweight. And Jahi's at 147. Super middleweight. Middleweight. He's working his way down to step in there with a welterweight of Jahi Tucker. He steps in there with Jahi Tucker, and the judges see it 74-77, 74-77, 74-77. In one of his most exciting, entertaining fights on his resume, because he fought toe-to-toe in a firefight, hand-to-hand combat. I'm telling you, man, it was a blessing to be ringside shooting that fight. I ain't gonna lie, like I really wanted to put the camera down and just watch the goddamn fight from that close. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shaw News is up there, you know what I'm saying, in the corral shooting that fight. Tulsa was good, top ranked, promotions was outstanding. But check this out. His 10th fight. He's 10-1. His 10th fight, he goes in there against Nicholas Flash, a fighter that was slick, Puerto Rican fighter. Okay. And he didn't get another fight this year. He took the Jahi Tucker loss. I mean, he took the Jahi Tucker win and ran for the Easter basket. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed that golden egg and got the hell up out of there. See, they always talking about how the greats all take a loss. But on the YTC, some individuals forget that they continue to basically echo that same sentiment that the greats all always lost. And all I'm saying is for this young guy is that Jahi is only 20 years old. And this fight right here has a lot more tied into it than people would know unless you go to the fight. But with fighters having injuries and stuff like that, and don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about it. Some fighters do after the fight, but when fighters have injury and they can't put on the same performance that they did against a name like Nicholas Seknishvili, you know what I'm saying? People want to look at it like, yeah, he finally took his loss. But check this out. He never let anybody know what was wrong with him in that fight. Obviously, he didn't give you the same tempo he gave Nicholas Seknishvili. You know what I'm saying? Obviously that didn't happen. But I can tell you this: he's a way better fighter than that fighter. That was a tough fighter right there. 10-2, Nicholas Flass. He was a tough fighter, bro. And the majority decision went in favor of Nicholas, and Jahi picked law. Now the great thing about that, if Jahi had it on his mindset, he don't have to think about taking that first L no more. That's over with. That's over with. He don't have to worry about taking that first L no more. His next opponent is Francisco Ferron. Check this out. 25 years old, another youngin now, Argentinian, Olympian now, 13-0, 10 knockouts. He has more knockouts than Jahi Tucker, bro. Six rounders, start off 6 rounders. I'm talking about Olympians, right? 6 rounders, 6 rounders, 6 rounders, 6 rounders, 6 rounders. All right, we're talking about Olympian. 10 rounder. He skipped the 8, went to 10. Back down to 6. Another 10. 6 round. Back up to 10. Now, I want you to pay close attention to some again. Just like I said with Nicholas Kashvili, Nicholas Seknishvili, right? Look at the weights. He's fighting above 154, 160. He's fighting up there at the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. That's super middleweight, y'all. Super welterweight. Look how high he's fighting. Middleweight. Check this out. This is what Jahi Tucker has to deal with. Now let me go back now. Let me go back. This is a 20-year-old Jahi Tucker with 11 fights, 5 knockouts. Now, you're talking about him coming out here fighting a tough fight from a guy who was up at freaking light heavyweight, and then Nicholas Flash, who's a slick Puerto Rican fighter. You know what I'm saying? They had to redeem, what he did to Xander Zayas sparring partner. They had to send another Puerto Rican in there. And, Jahi had some shit going on with his physical anatomy. That ain't no excuse. That's facts. Now he's going in there with Francisco Veron, which is used to fighting at a higher weight, just like freaking Nicholas Seknishvili. I don't know what's going on here. All I'm saying is, if anybody who don't understand that Jahi is in here facing tough competition, I'm showing it to you right now. I'm showing it to you. And let's go somewhere else right quick so I can show you this. Remember, Francisco Veron, right? Okay. Because I want you to think about some things heading to this December 9th fight card. Y'all can sit up here and forget about how he went in there and banged out with Nashville and motherfucking YTC was a buzz. They said, God damn, that nigga Jahi ain't no joke. And then when he fought Nicholas Flash, y'all think that shit is gone that he put in there with Nicholas Flash. No, he still got the dynamite. He still got the gorilla time. Now, I want you to see something. Check this out now. When you talk about fighters who look, who is that person, who is him. Check this out. This is 160 pounds, right? This is 154 pounds. This is the division that Jahi Tucker competes in. Super welterweight to junior middleweight. The next division up is the middleweight 160-pound division. Who is this right here? Francisco Veron. Wouldn't you know? Francisco Veron is ranked in the WBA as a top 5 fighter. As a top 5 fighter, y'all. Francisco Varane is moving down to super middleweight to fight Jahi Tucker, who isn't in the rankings yet, bro. Let's go see if Jahi's in the rankings. I want to see if 154. I want to goddamn pull out my metal detector and see if he drops some motherfucking coins in there that says, you know what I'm saying, who is Jahi Tucker in the dirt? Who's there? So I'm looking. I don't see Jahi Tucker. I don't see Jahi Tucker's name in the top game. You got to ask yourself, what's going on here now? You just got to ask yourself. This dude is about to face his third, not just any opposition, but he's facing dudes who's coming down in weight. Somebody really trying to test this youngin. 20 years old. Now check this out. I'm gonna be honest with you now. Grab somebody else that's in the same category. I'm not comparing nobody. Grab somebody else that's around his age in his weight division or was signed with Top Rank. I'm talking about 10 or 11 or 12 fights in the game now. 13, 14. You're about to go in there with a third tough opponent. And this time, this is the toughest opponent. This guy has Olympian pedigree, I think twice, and he's ranked. Francisco Barone is ranked as a middleweight as we speak right now. He is ranked. He is ranked above Danny Garcia, in the WBA. Liam Smith, Ian Green, Shane Mosley Jr. Come on, bro. And Jahi Tucker about to fight this dude in December 9th. Why? I'm just saying, he has to be something special. They trying to test the shit out of this youngin. They trying to see, goddamn, can the Gorilla Hulk smash? Because it all came from that, whatever that was, when Nikolai came in there. He was supposed to be the guy. When Nicholas hurt Jahi in the first round, and a lot of people like, yeah. And look, until his body starts reforming and shit. Oh shit. Oh damn. It was almost like the Terminator. Shit started reforming itself. Oh shit. Damn. We thought he was up out of there. And then he went red. He started commenced the goddamn look. I was ringside when Sekneshvili smiled on his face to my yeah. And Jahi started to put them goddamn double claw hammers on him. Pop, 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 pop. I mean, it wasn't popcorn. It sounded like goddamn gunshots going off in there. This dude was not only getting headshots, but he was getting shots to the ribs and shit. And you say, how can somebody with only 5 knockouts make a light heavyweight fold? He started banging him so hard to the body. Sekneshvili start the goddamn brace for the shots. How can Jahi have only 5 knockouts and bang into the body like that and making a grown man start to fold up and basically predict and tense up and prepare for the body shots, bro? How can you do that to such a big dude like that? That's after being hurt in the first round and then coming back the next 9 rounds and wiping his nose. Bang, 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 bang. One listening to his corner. Bang, bang, bang. Biggie, bang, bang. When a fighter get drawn out like that and they have tunnel vision and they don't kill, I mean, that's one of the most exciting fights that you can think about. Seriously, that was an exciting fight, but he's not gonna get credit for it because people want to see the knockouts and shit like that. But that fight right there, man, that shit had motherfuckers buzzing on the YTC. They act like it's went somewhere. It ain't went somewhere. He in there with a tough ass Francisco Varane, man. Come on, that's a tough ass fight, bro. And this man only have 11 fights with 5 knockouts, but he was up there, goddamn, folding old boy up like a wet envelope. And had him goddamn bracing for those body shots. Head to head shit. Eye to eye. Punch for punch. tit for tat, step for step. No need to come forward. I'm right here in your space. Bang, 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 bang. Both fighters was throwing, but Jahi had the advantage, man. Like every time um Nikolai Nico was just trying to throw a combination and use all that weight, Jahi would just come back. It was an amazing fight, man. It was one of the best fights. I'm saying it was one of the best fights, man. Me being ringside to see, that was one of the best fights. Man. That shit was on point like a mother, man. Fireworks, action, nonstop, nonstop. So y'all pay attention, man. Don't sit up here and give up on a fighter because of one loss. And y'all sit up here and talking about the greats, the greats, the greats. And some of your favorite fighters that you support have multiple losses. You know what I'm saying? Multiple losses. But I don't like really comparing that scenario to a fighter. All I'm saying is, the fighter is 20 years old. Give him time. Boxing ain't a sprint. Boxing ain't a sprint. You got to find your place. You got to find out how it all works out for you and make it happen, bro. But y'all pay attention. This fight right here going down, man. While I'm here, let's take a look at the event. You got Richard Torres Jr., heavyweight, Olympian, 7-0. He going against Curtis Harper. Now, another thing I wanted to show y'all about Jahi's resume, too. What do y'all see about this? What do y'all see? None of his opponents has losing records now. None of his opponents has losing records. You got to respect that shit. None of his opponents has losing records, bro. None of them. None of them have losing records. I repeat, over. Do you copy? Over. None of his opponents has losing records. I just thought I'd put that out there. So you have Richard Torres Jr. going against Curtis Harper. Like I said, Jahi Tucker. It'd be considered continue the super middleweight against Francisco Daniel Verone. They saying he's 21st. He's 21, and Jahi's ranked 68. But I just showed you he's ranked as a 160-pounder middleweight, and he's top 5, y'all, in the WBA. He's top 5. Damian Nimba against Michael Coffey. Delonte Johnson. Shout out to Delonte, man, over there out of Ohio. Going in there against Jamir Espinosa. That should be a good fight. Rohan Polanco against Keith Hunter. They have a nice card. Bruce Carrington against Jason Sanchez. Xander Zayas against Jorge Fatilla. I'm guessing this is going to be the main event. And then, of course, the man himself, Eltran. He's going against Rafael Espinosa. And that's to defend his WBA World Featherweight title, man. You know, Ribisi is a two-time Olympian. Strength and conditioning coach Larry Wade. You know what I'm saying? One of the more exciting fighters that you will see. You know what I'm saying? That's had a story of coming out the Olympics and losing early in his career. You know what I'm saying? Ribisi lost early in his career, and he's now world champion. He's only 13-1. He has 14 fights, 13-1. Matter of fact, if you don't believe me, let's go take a walk. He lost his first fight, y'all. So don't sit up here and give up. I'm not going on Bernard Hopkins. There's plenty of fighters I can go to that lost their first fight. But he lost his first fight, y'all. It took him a while to recover from that, being that he was a two-time Olympian. So don't give up on Jahi Tucker and what his capabilities are. Don't give up on him. Stay close to the situation, so you won't have to play, stay close to the situation, so you won't have to play catch up when things really start to goddamn boil again. You know what I'm saying? When that hot grease start to get goddamn cooking, because it ain't never been lukewarm now. The shit he put on with Seknashvili, that ain't went nowhere. That ain't went nowhere. But that's the fight card right there. Going down Saturday, December 9th, 23rd. And that's where we at with it, y'all. But shout out to Jahi Tucker. Man, keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You're 20 years old, so you got plenty of time in life to make this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Very, very talented fighter. Very talented. So really ain't nobody can tell you about you. You know what your capabilities are. You know what the game plan needs to be. And you understand the situation you in and the reason why you getting these tough fights. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, this is going to be one of your tougher fights. If they giving you an Olympian, another fighter that's fought at a heavier weight class than you, and you coming up from 47. So man, best wishes going in there getting this shit done. Real talk. Best wishes going in there and getting this done. Real talk. Support one another. You know what it is. I just thought I'd throw the vintage. I just thought I'd throw out the vintage. Um, do they not understand you in the military? One thing I know about that is the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and you make sure you have the facts and have done the research to back it up. And some people don't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying, Carlos? Some people don't look at it that way. Really frown upon the military. They don't square. They don't want to hear none of that military shit because they wasn't able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't put my military shit on nobody because it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day being gung ho trying to get my family members, a couple of my family members to join because, you know, it would be better than where they at right now in the A. And they said, no, you can handle that. I was told to go work for the white man and all that shit. And then people used to tell me, when you go back home, they ain't gonna treat you like you think. You think they're gonna celebrate you and all. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Sure enough, you know what I'm saying? You get home, people act like you a visitor. How can I be a visitor in somebody in a place I grew up? And then when you treat people with the work ethic, right? Look, you're talking about having a work ethic, right? Doing shit in the Pentagon, yo. Currying top secret message and briefing people in the Pentagon, right? To up here having to work ethic to go cover these fighters and be said, okay, you're a dick rider, you're clout chasing. I can't relate to it, dog. That shit's hilarious, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Team Tucker on deck, man. What's good? Yes, sir, man. It's like it's crazy, bro. What's good, WCS? Jerron and Spence crew. I heard Spence. New name is a fishing Spencer. He the victim, they claim. Damn. Jahi Tucker can say he had the experience to look at what his shortcoming of winning a fight looked like. Yeah, man. Jahi Tucker's still that damn gorilla now. I seen that motherfucker perform up close and personal. You can't look. It ain't like you have a performance like that at that age now. The fact that he had it at that age against a bigger dude and really put the brakes on him, bro. Obviously his next fight wasn't the same tempo or none of that. And people look at it like, oh no, he took his first loss. Hey, bro. Hey, listen, fighters go through injuries and don't say anything about them because they feel like, okay, you want to talk about an injury or whatever, you're making excuses. Well, you know what I'm saying? If it's fact, it's fact. Injury is an injury, bro. Obviously, he didn't fight the same tempo he did against Nico, but that's neither here nor there. We talking about December 9th, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking y'all support the young lion, the young gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Support him, man. From what I heard coming out of this camp, he's ready. He's ready to go in there and put on the show. It's going to be a very good fight. He's going in there against a top five ranked middleweight, y'all. A top ranked middleweight. He's going in there and fighting. Dan Tan on deck. It don't matter on deck. What's good? So I want y'all to take a look at a clip that Terrence Bud Crawford, two-time undisputed, currently welterweight, look, 147-pound welterweight, undisputed world champion.
Just reflecting on all my accomplishments at my mama house. That's where all my belts at. you know, hard work, dedication, things that y'all favorite fighters, some of them, ain't got. So I see why y'all mad. See why y'all mad. Wait, look at that one right there. See that one? See that one? Diamonds are forever.
What happened, David?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This where it all started at. Right here. This one. In Texas. In Texas, baby. Right there. Don't hate. Just congratulate. I'm building my trophy case for all these beautiful accomplishments. Collecting dust at the same time. Let's get it. Team Crawford all day. If you don't congratulate, it's all right. Just continue to hate. I'm going to continue to shine. History books. Stamp. Earned. Can't take that away from me. Catch up.
You hear what he said at the end? After just basically giving you a panoptic view of all the medals he's earned in his career, he said, catch up. I don't know if a lot of people paid attention, but Terrence Bud Crawford said, catch up. I can very much select who he was talking to. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about from the NABO all the way up to where he's at now. See, I sent him a tweet and I pretty much said, they're not hating on the belts. They're not hating on you because of the belts. For real. This hate is not generated off the belts that you've won. You know what I'm saying? The hate is generated because Crawford pretty much erased 5 years of these when he got to the welterweight divisions, when they really started to pay attention to him with this hate shit. You know what I'm saying? They really started to pour on the hate when he got to the welterweight division. And I pretty much said that it was because Crawford erased 5 years of hope that they was wishing all the rhetoric, you know what I'm saying? All the trash talk that had built up within a 5-year span of him not being on the same level as Spence and hearing everybody raise Spence up. He's the boogeyman. He's the big fish, strap season. You know what I'm saying? He's the truth. You know what I'm saying? They used to call Errol Spence the truth back then, like truth. He is the truth. And then he started coming up with strap season, the big fish, and all these other damn hashtags. But they're mad at Bud Crawford because he pretty much had 5 years where his name and Errol Spence's name was included in the same company. When people was having all these conversations, their name was included in that company for 5 freaking years since he went in there in 2018 to fight Jeff Horn and came on the scene. They've been talking about this fight. And all the people who said he was ducking, all the people saying he didn't know how to conduct business, all the people saying he ain't fought nobody, he wasn't that good of a fighter, he was light in the ass, all the people that continue to mention Gamboa's name with him being hurt. You know what I'm saying? All the people continue to mention Igis Kavalauskas and the opponents that he was facing as a welterweight. Jose Benavidez being shot in the leg. You know what I'm saying? Amir Khan not having a chin. Kell Brook being washed up. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter already in retirement. Avanesian. Just don't matter how he was ranked. He don't matter because his name is different. His name is different, so he don't matter. He ain't a popular fighter. And so he don't matter. We want you to fight Spence. And then you know how the smear campaign, how they marched their ass around on social media. And they was talking cash shit about Bud. Running away from Errol Spence, making it difficult for negotiation, Take what they give. Learn how to be the challenger. Humble yourself. Take less money. Shut up. That's the slavish talk that Charlos was talking, right? That's the slavish talk that the Charlos was talking, right? Everybody was telling this man to pretty much be a slave to the game. He kept going out there winning, and they kept telling him that ain't shit. Man, nobody give a shit about that. I remember the guy saying, he's on 10 straight knockouts. Who cares? He ain't fight nobody. Who he fought? And then you'll say a name. Oh, man, please. He wasn't the same since Spence fought him. Oh, you talking about Kell Brook who came down from a loss? Okay, so Spence get the credit for that. Okay, I get it. He didn't fight in the division after he fought Spence. Well, he fought 3 times at 154, never lost, and came back down to 47. He was weight drained. Could you imagine some fighter going through all that time lapse and motherfuckers not giving you the just due that you deserve? Right? He erased 5 years of people who was dead driven that fight was going to be a one-sided ass whooping. I played the video for you yesterday how people thought that Errol Spence was going to go in there and stop Terrence Crawford, that he was just too big for him. He was too strong. His jab was too active. It's just too much that did not favor Terrence Crawford. It was too much, bro. It was too freaking much. Seriously, it was too much. It was too much for these people to believe that Terrence had a chance. Based off everything he had done in 2 other divisions, it was too much for them to think. Within those 5 years, it was too much, bro. Too much for them to just say, hey, man, I think Terrence has a chance. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a chance. Hold on for a second. I'm about to pull something else up. Hold on right quick, y'all. I'm about to let you listen to something else too. Okay, I'm back. Listen to this, y'all. This was before the fight even happened. Right? I don't know how many people was coming at me saying I was just hating. Listen to this shit, dog. Listen to this. Spence brother, no chance. Look, physically matched up, 1-on-1, I give Errol Spence no chance of beating Crawford. If you're talking about a fixed fight with a referee and the judges involved and all that, yeah, I give him a high percentage. Real talk. But as far as going mano-a-mano head up, skill for skill, I don't give Errol Spence no chance. No chance. Not one chance. No chance at all. Shout out to Jessica on deck. I see you. No chance at all. They thought I was bullshit just talking. That WBA with Crawford's face on is savage. Man, he was going through the cachet of medals that he's earned, man. Shout out to Green. What's good? Team Ennis wrote a 4-page letter like Aaliyah to get that IBF interim elevated. Since you put that up there, Green, this is where I said, fighters want handouts. And much as hold on for a second. So let me caveat off what Green said to basically bleed over into what I said initially in my title. Fighters want handouts, no shame. I've never heard so many people that's supposed to be hardcore boxing fans, right? Really co-sign this shit. How do you want handouts and then you want to say, come take it? Like it was given to you to begin with, based off somebody who was actually in the T-Mobile Arena who won it. After five, we've been talking about this fight several years. This man had to go through fighting fighter after fighter after fighter, remaining undefeated, stopping them, rocking them, stopping them, rocking them, stopping them, rocking them, right? To go in there and just set the boxing world ablaze, man, by going in there, beating the motherfucking strawberry preserves out of his face. He went in there and did the shit too good. You know what I'm saying? He beat him up too well, right? To the point where paperwork was submitted, like Green said, a 4-page letter. They got what they wanted. Now they up here. The person who they took it from, they want them to come chasing back something they already had when it does nothing except say, okay, if he comes back and fight for the title, he's not getting paid a lucrative purse. The only thing he can get from it is a reward. And the reward is not going to be as big as it was with Errol Spence. He's going to get a reward, but it's not going to be as big as Errol Spence when he collected the titles for 2-time undisputed. If he goes for 3-time undisputed, it's the value of it is going to be like an appraising value, very, very low appraising value. It's going to be banal at the end of the day. People are not going to look at it. It's like, man, this is something special. This goes down in the annals of something extremely special just because he's fighting Boots. For Boots and whoever else is just bragging about stealing a belt, doing paperwork to have a belt extracted, and then say, come get it, nanny boo boo. Now I can't tell you how many times I just think about this shit. I'm reading and then I'm just thinking, I'm saying I want to put some sense to it. Really, I want to put some sense to it. I really want to get some clarity with this because I just can't find myself do it. Like I took something from somebody. Now I want them to come back and take it from me. Like I'm in a competitive setting. I'm in a sport, a professional sport where I got to compete. So you want me to come back. You want me to chase. After I was in fight camp to perform the way I did against July 29th, against an opponent that was supposed to be better than me. You want me to now come and do a treasure hunt for my title? Now you're saying I got your title, come take it from me. It's just not some man shit to me. It's not some gladiator shit, bro. It's not something that I respect in the combat field as a pugilist. I try to dress it up. I try to look for some code of ethics in combat sports to say, you know what, where would this fall into play? If I was to get the title, submit the freaking application, Application was approved, the title delivered, via Amazon Prime. I got the motherfucker, and now I'm gonna tell, hey, if you want it, come get it. After you done told people, I told them once I get a title, it's over. I'm stepping on them. Once I get a title, it's over. I'm stepping on them. I'm stepping on them. I'm stepping on them. I'm stepping on them. And I was like, okay, I know boots is made for stepping, but you're telling somebody to come over here and take it from you. Does that require you moving forward towards the person that you took it from? You extracted the belt that they earned from their collection via paperwork, and you don't find it within yourself to say, let me put forth the effort, let me be the aggressor, let me be the pursuer, and go back over here and challenge this man. First, I'm gonna start doing it in the interviews. I'm gonna call him out, because this is not gonna be a 5-year war. You know what I'm saying? This is not gonna be a 5-year war on social media. Crawford's not gonna be in the sport that long. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So the only way that you can kind of build this up to anything of relevance is to try your best to get Crawford's attention. The way he just put that video out there and showed you all his freaking medals that he's earned over the years, at the end, he said, catch up. Dude, he wasn't talking about a condiment that you put on a motherfucking burger, dog. No, he's talking about he's been eating in the ring. He's been goddamn eating as far as them purses goes. He's been eating as far as those belts he's been collecting. All that other shit, I don't know what to tell you, bro. All that other shit, come get the belt if you want it. That's not young lion mentality, bro. You know, we supposed to hear the rumblings and the growling coming over the horizon. It's my, oh shit, they coming to take over the pride. Oh shit. Hey, you see so-and-so? I think he coming for you, big dog. I mean, what happened to that lion's mentality? If you saying he's a young lion, he's it. He's up here playing hide and go seek, nanny boo boo, like, you know what I'm saying, run in the woods and shit, and goddamn play hide and seek. I'm serious, bro. Like, how can you tell someone who's accomplished what Crawford has done to say, now that I got your belt, come get it? Oh my God, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Green, what's good, bro? Green, what's good, bro? Green.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. What's going on, Archbishop?
I'm good. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm just I was able to catch it live, man, in present time. So I'm just sitting here enjoying it. I just want to hop in because I seen the link, man. This is what we call nasty work right here. You feel what I'm saying? Celebrating the participation belt.
Yeah, participation belt of all people, man. I definitely want to hear your analysis on this shit, bro. Like, just the whole fact of them submitting paperwork. Let's start from there. I want to hear your summation on that. Like, they submitted paperwork knowing that the response will be a dead end approval. There's no way that they could have got approval that this negotiation was going to happen. So let me hear your thoughts on that, man.
Yeah, well, just like I put in the chat, man. Them writing a 4-page letter like Aaliyah to the IBF to get that belt strip, knowing that everyone knowing that going into this fight the fight that we got with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, that they both had a rematch clause. It was bilateral.
Yeah.
Meaning whoever lost, you know, they had the reward of activating the rematch clause, which Errol Spence has done. So, you know, so my take on it is, you know, due to the way the Ennis camp portrayed themselves, they said that they want to chase Spence because he had the majority of the belts. So now when Crawford gets the majority of the belts, you guys petition just to basically steal one of them. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And then act like you're a part of an elite council of fighters when you're not, because you didn't fight for the belt. It wasn't vacant. You just, you know, presented paperwork and kept emailing, texts, and sending messages and bottles to the IBF to get the belt strip from the guy when he just won it. You know, maybe has it been 90
90 days, a little over 90 days, but you know that they took full advantage of those new IBF rules because they just did the same thing with Usyk and Fury. So so these guys they're playing the political aspect of it. But my whole thing about the Ennis camp is, you know, when they did the interview with Crawford and they called him and he's saying, you know, I've been trying to fight you since 2018. There's no way that you've been trying to fight Crawford since 2018 because you were being sued by your former promoter, Chris Mendendorf, because
A Victory Boxing Promotions, just to make that clear.
because according to him, you were fighting and then signed another promotional deal up under the table. So
Well,
due
who
to that,
again? You missing one name. Who was he signing that deal with? Who was his manager?
oh yeah, Cameron Duncan.
Yeah, Cameron Duncan.
But the guy Mendendorf, he sued him, his dad, and his co-trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and according to the report, six of his purses had almost $500,000 held in escrow until they got the situation figured out. So if you're refusing to fight for the guy that says he's been promoting you, how are you trying to fight Crawford in 2018 and you didn't get this settled to 2021?
Talk to him. Drop
So
them jewels. Drop that
I
hot
mean
grease on their ass.
so that's just a bit of logic, and it just entails the way that these guys get on here and paint these narratives, and then you know it's really saddening because they got an in-house vlogger that, you know, any type of damage control is needed. He's out there, he's out there with the wand and fairy dust, spreading it to everyone, trying to change everyone's perspective and, you know, logic, and it's kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Expert Genius, what's good? I appreciate that, Green. Hey, before
For
you go,
sure.
Expert Genius, yeah, what Green just mentioned, yeah, was straight up facts. You know what I'm saying? I try not to dive into the and twist the knife. But what he said about him going to court, yeah, Chris Menendorf was had him in court because they wanted to separate and make it seem like that he was just going off with his manager. But Menendorf said it was a promotional deal. It was a promotional deal. So no, you're not gonna fight anywhere else till we get this straightened out because I'm gonna get a piece of the pie. And they end up taking the court and getting the shit taken care of. But just like Green said, you know, back in 2018, you was tied up in legality. It's no way you was hunting on Crawford. So, you know, you was capping then too. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this shit don't make any sense to finally be able to spread your wings. And you still haven't really fought the fights that we want you to see. Yeah, you fought Sergey Lipinets and shit like that, but bro, you get an opportunity to answer the question that was asked of you. What would be your ideal first fight that you want to fight? Who do you want first? And you said Barrios and freaking Stanthionis and the other guy Crawford. You don't want Crawford, man. You would have mentioned him first and foremost. It ain't no option to that. What's going on, Expert?
Oh, nothing much. I ain't really had too much to say. Just want to ask some questions. But before I ask my questions, couldn't he have fought standing when Ortiz pulled out or whatever? Couldn't he have fought standing on this?
I'm hearing he turned down some fights over there. You know, I heard he turned down a Stanthionis fight.
Yeah,
And that may be the case because I'm not sure as to when he had the opportunity to take the Stanthionis fight, but somebody was in his ear about getting that IBF interim. You know what I'm saying? And then going and planning out this IBF route or whatever. You know, they had some planning going on there.
and that you speaking of the IVF, that's the perfect segue for me to ask some more questions. Um, when he got the belt, didn't he say he didn't ask for them to give him the belt?
You talking about the IBF or the interim?
The IBF.
I could have sworn he said something like that. Like that was out of my hands. He said that was out of my hands. But
Yeah.
but My
Yeah,
colleagues were telling me Bozy Ennis already knew. Now you trying to tell me your daddy already knew that this was going down, but you talking about, oh yeah, it was out of my hands. I couldn't do nothing about it. They was already putting it in action.
yeah. So I'm. It was last year. I think last summer or right before summer when Boots was talking about getting a potential fight with Spence and all that. He clearly said he didn't care how he got the belt. He just wanted the belt. And now that he got the belt, he's trying to say, you know, he didn't ask them to do that. But you just said last year you didn't care how you got the belt as long as you got the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like that because I like Boots. That was a red flag to me. And then what Green brought up about the been trying to fight you since 2018, like, bro, that is nobody knew who you was in 2018. You was still a prospect, bro. Even though you had what 21, I think it was 21 fights
Mm-hmm.
by then, you was still a prospect, bro. Like, cut it out. And Crawford had just came to the welterweight division in 2018.
Yep.
So like, what is you talking about? I just see these they making because Philly has a good history in boxing besides the whole made up character with Rocky, but you making Philly look bad out here capping, bro.
You ain't lying, right?
Yeah, even Angel Garcia said, that wasn't a tasteful way for the IBF to handle that business when it came to stripping the guy. Like he just fought in one of the best events in boxing. It was a great event. Sports history was made, and then you stripped the guy. So
Look at his box rec down. We all know what Crawford did in 2017. He vacated the belts, from Julius and Dongo's unification, end up getting ready to go up there for 2018 to fight Jeff Horn. But this is Crawford. He was fighting a 13-9-2 Gustavo Garibay right here. This is January 2018. And then April 2018, I'm pretty sure y'all seen all this. Samuel Amico, 23-17, y'all, but he was looking for Crawford. He was looking for Crawford. And I think this is around the time where Crawford fought Jeff Horn. This man is fighting a 26-10 fighter in June 1st, 2018.
Yeah,
Where were you looking for Crawford at? Crawford wouldn't even acknowledge your presence. He just unified and moved up through his third division to fight Jeff Horn. And you talking about you was looking for him? Dude, come on, stop it.
yeah, not to mention Cameron Duncan. He had a plethora of other fighters, on top rank fighting on top rank. So my thing is once they started whatever promotional deal, managed deal, whatever they had going, where it was just solely him and Team Ennis, why didn't you take him over to the top rank? Because the narrative is that's where all the welterweights were on the PBC side, but he hasn't shared the ring with any of those guys over there. He's just been fighting on showboxing. He might have got a Jamal James or, a journeyman in Thomas Delorme for a showbox card, but he didn't get any of the notable welterweights over there himself. So why didn't you take him over there to top rank? It was only one notable welterweight on top rank, and that was Terrence Crawford. But but to those with to those with a form of logic would understand that the guy that he's currently doing business with, he was Crawford's former manager, so he knows the dangers of putting a Jerron Ennis in there with Crawford. And it's not saying that he doesn't have the skill set to compete. It's just experience is my teacher. He definitely doesn't have any experience. It's just like this box rec that WCS just pulled up. The level of competition that he's been fighting, no world champions, no former world champions, and his whole career is detailed at one division. He hasn't sailed or escapaded through through the division, it just shows that he's still green in regards to Crawford. Mind you, he has 9 less fights than Crawford.
Man, his whole resume screams and yells protected fighter.
Well, it's padded. It's heavily padded. It's
And paper champ, fellas.
Yeah.
yeah. I call him the Black Jaime Munguia because Jaime Munguia has 40 some fights, and he for some reason when it's time for him to get called and they order fights for him, he tends to pull out. So you know I don't know. I haven't seen anything like this, but just like WCS was saying, since you're the new IBF champion, so who do you want to fight? So that would be the time for your handlers, promotion company, whatever the case may be, to start writing blank checks to some of these guys. Did you say Mario Barrios?
Yeah, Mario Barrios and
The first
Stanthionis.
name that comes to mind is Mario Barrios.
A new guy to the division.
Yeah, because for the life of me, I can't understand how in 2021 Jake Paul basically ran the whole pay-per-view time span on Showtime. And I didn't see Jerron Ennis on any of his undercards. I didn't see him headline any pay-per-view events either. So if this guy's the next best thing since sliced bread, what are you doing with him? Mind you, he has 31 fights in the email belt.
Well, you have to remember this too, Green, that after he had that IBF interim fight with Korean Chudikin, where Korean ran around the ring, he said he's a main eventer. He won't main events now. So his next fight with Ramon Villas, he had that at home, I think. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken.
And it was in Atlantic City.
Yeah, it was in Atlantic City, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think like 80 showed up to that. So, he was the main event, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the main event, but my thing is this: like you're dealing directly with Showtime, and the only other 2 guys that I've seen dealing directly with Showtime or exclusively signed to Showtime was Tank Davis, and then Jake Paul for his tenure in 2021. Now he had 3 pay-per-views. I think what was 2 of them was with Woodley, and then he fought Anderson Silva also.
The wild part about that Showtime deal you mentioned it is that I thought for a minute he was signed with Showtime too, until all this BLK Prime crap came in. Then the Showtime leaving PBC, and they end up talking about they just had an agreement with Showtime. They wasn't signed with Showtime. They was just had an agreement with Showtime.
Oh, Boosting them said they had an agreement.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Bozy said they just had an agreement because a lot of people thought that when the information started coming out about who financed this Errol Spence and Crawford fight, and with Showtime, right? So people was thinking that they signed the PBC, but they didn't. And then the Boots Ennis shit came up that who is he actually signed with? How is this going to affect his next fight? Who's going to then the information started coming out that they wasn't signed with Showtime. They just had an agreement. That kind of came out with the BLK Prime shit when supposedly they was trying to get him to fight Crawford, which it was just a debacle, period. But Bozy came on record and said, no, we just have an agreement with him. We ain't signed with Showtime.
So anybody in previous comment sections, when I said they hid behind Showtime, take that up with Bozy, not me.
Yeah, for real. Take that up with Bozy. Because Bozy been on record saying they just had an agreement. So I guess they trying to take the independent route.
And these newfound Boots fans, y'all had no problem with calling Devin Haney an email champion, but got a problem with calling Boots an email champion. When technically, Boots is the real email champion.
Right now, he's the paper champion because he got his championship via paperwork.
paperwork,
I,
email.
I know
However,
it sucks to hear that, but it is. That's
yeah,
true, man.
yeah. It was something he knew about that he's acting like he didn't know about.
Oh, he knew about it. He knew about it. Ain't nobody gonna deny that he knew about it. His pops was keeping him informed. His people was keeping him informed. He knew that paperwork was submitted. He knew the turnaround. He knew they had a certain period of time to respond. And
Yep.
what y'all think about them backdating it to July 29th, man?
What them?
For him picking up the belt. They backdated to July 29th, man. Look, that's crazy, right? So they backdated the shit to July 29th. But what does that say about Spence? Because Spence came in there with the IBF. So what does that have to do with Crawford, though? This is the weirdest corrupted type shit I've seen. So if Spence came into the ring July 29th, because basically when Jermell Charlo entered the ring against Canelo, he was stripped of the WBO title because, for one, they wasn't fighting for Jermell's titles. Okay. But in this undisputed July 29th, Errol Spence came in there with the WBC, WB, and IBF. So when you backdate this stripping of the IBF title, how can you backdate it to July 29th and strip Terrence Crawford, who picked up the titles that night? I never seen no shit. Like, he picked up the titles that night. So it's almost like, it seems like the paperwork submitted to Errol Spence and grandfathered in to the winner, which ended up being Bud Crawford. So they snatched the IBF title from Bud.
Yeah.
My whole thing is when the negotiations fell through between Spence and Crawford, and they were gonna have Spence and Thurman fight at 154 pounds. Why didn't the IBF step in then and you know herald their decree? Because they had nobody had given them their mandatory at that time, and according to reports, that was supposed to be a WBC. So you guys allowed other sanctioning bodies to proceed with their mandatories getting served. So now you wait until Crawford has a binding rematch agreement. So he can't fight, and it's even if he wanted to, because the banner is like they're kind of like baiting, like, oh, we took your belt, come back and get it, knowing he's contractually obligated to fight Errol Spence. And mind you, there's no network for them to fight on as of yet.
I'm gonna take it back even further. If the IBF want to, implement their rules and regulations and go off their rules and regulations, based off of y'all rules and regulations, that IBF champion is supposed to defend against the mandatory 9 months after winning the championship, and every 9 months from that point. So why wasn't Spence stripped when he fought Mikey Garcia?
That's a good question, man. I mean, that's a good question that has a timeline that was never really put into evidence or question when Errol Spence was allowed to just walk his way all the way up, hiatus after hiatus, all the way up. He got this fight with Crawford without even really revisiting. Like, he fought Carlos Ocampo back in 2018, didn't he?
Yeah, June of 2018.
So, what happened after that? Come on, June of 2018, nobody said shit.
Like Mikey Garcia, voluntary. Then he had a couple of unifications, which I can see they're saying, well, that was a unification. But Danny Garcia wasn't a unification. Even though WBC made Danny Garcia another mandatory, just giving him chance after chance. He was a WBC mandatory, not an IBF mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
So both Garcia fights, why wasn't he stripped?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah. Also, the two previous injuries that's on paper that's detailed that Spence suffered. Why wasn't the interim belt dispersed within the 147-pound division then? Because that the IBF they only give out an interim belt when the champion is injured. I didn't see any paperwork where Spence was injured. Now he claimed he was in a bit of a car spat, but he said he was fine and he was still entertaining possibilities on his next time entering the ring again. But he didn't file any paperwork saying that he was hurt and that he couldn't compete. So
True.
so 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 why did you guys disperse the IBF interim belt, amongst the 147-pound division? Mind you, you didn't give Kell Brook that same type of cushion after he went up and fought Triple G and came back down. He filed paperwork because he actually had an injury and had to have titanium fused back into to his eye socket. And you guys in the IBF, you didn't even give him the proper time to even heal and rest and recover from injury.
Yeah, they didn't even check in the Spence injury because, like you said, he said he was fine, and then a couple of days later, he said his leg was hurt bad, but he was walking
Stuff
perfectly
started
fine.
to hurt. Yeah, true. He said stuff started to hurt. He was walking perfectly fine. He was on the beach. Man, there's a whole lot of goddamn
Yeah, but
underhanded
this has
shit
been the
going
plan.
on.
This has been the plan from Team Ennis all along. Because after they announced that Keith Thurman and Spence fight 154 pounds, there's an interview Cameron Duncan did with, I believe, the boxing scene, and he said that they were expecting Spence to move up to 154 pounds. That's why they were fighting for an interim belt, because they already knew they just wanted to be elevated to full champion. They didn't have in their eyes to fight anybody, because everybody on that side of the street per se was saying, like, yeah, Jerron Ennis, he's not getting the Spence fight. Spence is too big.
Yeah, at this point, this is, to me, how I look at it. I might be wrong with the paperwork and putting in the paperwork and stuff. This is, even though it's not a franchise title, this is like Canelo requesting franchise.
My bad, I stepped away.
Yeah, you put in paperwork to request being handed a belt, not fighting another fighter that's ranked, in the top 3 of the IBF, just hand you the title.
And he still didn't get to share the ring with any of the welterweights on the PBC side, because Roman Vila, he's the Samson Likowicz fighter. That's who his promoter is.
Yeah.
So Roman Vila, he gets a majority decision against Rashidi Ellis, and then they put him in there with Ennis. So now all of a sudden, like, you fighting a guy, like, unless you were watching Showbox, you don't know who Roman Vila is. You can't. To a boxing purist, they would know his last 5 opponents, but just regular people that just pay attention to the sport, you're not going to be able to know the last 5 people that Roman Vila fought. Not at all.
I ain't even gonna lie, he wasn't even on my radar.
He wasn't on a lot of people's radar until he fought Rashidi.
Yeah, he had a good showing on the Gervonta Davis pay-per-view. So he had a good showing, and it didn't. So they matched him up. And a lot of people don't know Roman Vila, not to make any excuse, but his whole family was kidnapped in Colombia during that time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What was that about?
I have no idea. I just know I read a report on it. So you got a guy coming in there, under that type of distress, but you don't make any excuses for it. But the
It's just like
facts
Sonny
still
Liston.
remain.
It's just like they say about Sonny Liston. Supposedly his family was kidnapped and they was holding him because he's supposed to went in there and
Took a dive.
through the
Dive,
fight with Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. You know, if his family was kidnapped, I don't know why. I mean, were you talking about with the Rashidi fight or with the Boots fight?
The Boots fight.
Oh, for real? Damn. God damn. That's wild.
See, anything, in Colombia, anything can happen. He could have had a family member that was doing something, and you know, they firm believers in leave no enemy behind.
Yeah.
So if they got a problem with you, they're gonna wipe your whole family out, not just you.
Who do you think y'all want to see him fight next, man? Is of any relevance? Do y'all think you think of Stantionis? I know Barrios would fight him because
Well,
Barrios called out Crawford. You know, Barrios had called out Crawford. So I mean, I know Barrios.
Bars will
If
fight
it,
anybody.
yeah, Barrios will fight anybody for relevance right now. So, but let's just say he fight Barrios. Who would y'all want to Would y'all give him any credit, being that Barrios, you know, he coming off a Giovanni Santiago win and a Yadinas Ugas win? Will y'all be interested in seeing him fighting Boots?
That'd be, I mean, if he fight Boots and let's say he loses the Boots, that would be Boots' biggest win to me.
Because he got Keith Thurman on his resume and all that, right?
Probably so. But I like to see him fight either Stanionis, uh, Keith Thurman, or hell, they've been going there for years. Hell, give Blair Flair a
Yeah, I
chance.
was just about to say Blair the Flair. You know, he called him out. You know, one of his fights, and nobody want to bring Blair the Flair name up, but he went in there and redeemed himself against Maurice Hooker.
Man, I love to hear what he got to say about this whole IBF situation with Boots.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he
want.
out there. It's a video out there.
Oh, I didn't see that because
I
I
haven't
was
seen
just
it yet.
arguing. I was arguing on another panel the other day about when Blair Cos pulled down on Boots and was talking about fighting him. Then his team ran in and did damage control for him and helped him escape. And you know Blair Cos,
Who Blair?
yeah,
Yeah,
Blair was by himself, and you know he congratulated Boots on his win. Then he Boots, you know, they shook hands. He tried to pull away, and he pulled him back in and said, "Man, like you know, we need to get in there and rumble." And then 10 minutes was like, "Oh yeah, we ain't fighting you, man. You know, you know, we ahead of you. You know, you ain't did enough, all this and that."
yeah. This is right before Blair lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm,
I remember that.
interesting.
But
Because
I'm look,
they're sitting up here thinking Crawford should acknowledge them, but they wouldn't acknowledge Blair the Flair for doing the same thing they doing.
yeah, and on paper, you can you can argue that their resume is the same with Blair LaFleur having the loss. He's been in the ring with more notable opponents. If we want to take it from that angle,
So, shoot, man, just think about Stanionis, Ortiz, Blair. They all been uh in the ring with better competition than Boots. But because Boots, he is a switch hitter. He is, flashy, and he be doing all that showboating stuff in the ring against his opponents. You know, he gets to shine, but he doing that showboating off in there against opponents he know he can do it against.
That he can shine on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stun on those opponents. That's what I was saying. You can stun on those opponents because of the quality opponent they are. But when it comes to the elite, when you talking about the Terrence Crawford, you're not gonna be able to showboat on him like that.
and then if you want to look back, even at the fight against the Ukrainian guy, you know, like under the bright lights, he didn't look like he knew what he was doing out there. I understand that he won every round convincingly by a boxing standpoint, but his performance under the bright lights and the way, you know, he was fighting to the crowd, so to speak, because the crowd was displeased with his performance. I heard a lot of boos. At first, I thought I was hearing boots, but it was minus the T. It was minus the TS, and it was boo.
Man.
That's what I heard for the totality of that match. So at that particular point, I was concerned with the experience because you haven't been in the bright lights, and just like I argued, they're expecting Crawford to have just held a historical performance in Vegas to go back to fighting in the cafeteria, to go back and fight Jerron Ennis in the cafeteria that's stacked with bleachers. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I was
It makes absolutely no sense to me. Now if Jerron Ennis, if he was promoted correctly, the same way they said Crawford should have been promoted correctly, you put him on a Jake Paul undercard and you let him build, and you let him build tread with Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was, he was doing consistent numbers over there. He's done consistent numbers on all the platforms that he's been featured on. So you let him catch some thread with that, and then you start putting him on bigger platforms. But again, like there's no checks being written for him to fight any of the top opponents. Now I'm looking at the 147-pound rankings right here. I don't see a Conor Ben in any of those rankings. So I see it. I see it. Cody Crawley, just some notable names. I see they've implemented Josh Taylor into the rankings. I see Keith Thurman, and I see Butayev. And, Alexis Rocha. He just took a devastating loss to Giovanni. So I don't see him. I don't see him fighting any like real notable guys. I see they got Spence still in there, but I don't think Spence is still fighting at 147 pounds. I don't think he entertained a Jerron Ennis fight.
Look, you mentioned Spence. I can't believe they dropped Spence down in the ranking as low as he did. But yet when Showtime Sean Porter and freaking Danny Garcia was losing, they kept him up in the top 2.
Yeah,
bro. They gave what he fought Adrian Granados, and then he fought, who did he fight after Granados? That it was Ivan Redcash. That to put Danny Garcia back in the mandatory position to get a shot at Earl Spence. They made the fight with him and Ivan Redcash the mandatory, for the mandatory position. I'm like, this dude just lost. He fought Adrian Granados. Like, come on, what is that? It was either Adrian Granados or Brandon Rios. So it was one of them. He fought. It's like, come on, what is that? And then you give him a mandatory fight for the winner to be mandatory against Ivan Redcash. Like, come on. Like, I don't know what Danny doing for them to keep him up there like that.
He's a company guy. That's all Danny is. He's a company guy. He moved up, got the fight with Jose Benavidez at 54, and now they're about to give him a title shot at 160. Catchweight, rather. Catchweight.
What title? I forgot what title.
It's a WBA, ain't it?
Oh, as long as it's WBA, because I was about to throw my phone if I heard WBC again.
It's a WBA, from my understanding. It's just the whole point of him being able to move the way he is. He's a company dude, man. Just like he was a company dude when he took that ass whooping from Spence. He wasn't in there trying to fight like he did with Jose Benavidez. He went in there with the orders. He let Spence beat him up. And Spence went on to Yadina Zugas. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think they always took a liking to Danny, because even if you remember when he left 140 pounds, he didn't directly go to 147 pounds. He fought Lamont Peterson for his IBF title at a catch weight, and the IBF told Lamont Peterson if he lost, they were stripping him.
Yeah, he had 2 catch weight fights prior to going to 147.
He was fighting I think one was at 141 and another one was like 144 or something like that, like something crazy.
And then he fought Ghost Guerrero for the vacant WBC, and that was it. That was as much as he did at 47.
Yeah,
he fought for the vacant, won the vacant, and then fought Sean Porter again for a vacant WBC. I'm telling you, Danny Garcia, the company guy, bro.
Yeah. The guy everybody wanted to fight when he moved up from 140.
Oh, yeah.
Even Keith Thurman.
I mean, Keith Thurman did put them hands on him though. He did what he had to do.
I was simply that. I was simply like people like Danny won. I'm like, no, the Keith Thurman fight was nothing but the uh, Lamont Peterson fight in reverse.
Hmm.
Now, think about it. Lamont, he was doing all doing all his boxing and kind of moving around in the first half, and in the second half, he took it to Danny Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
With Keith Thurman, first half, he took it to Danny Garcia and then started moving around in the second half. And I think he go back and watch the first round. He could have dropped Danny Garcia, but he smothered when he hurt Danny Garcia and he went into that corner. He smothered his punches. Danny
Mm-hmm.
Danny recovered quick. Got to give him that. That's his chin. But yeah, Thurman hurt him and could have dropped him, but he smothered his own punches.
Yeah, that's when Thurman was one time.
Yeah,
I still think Thurman and Ennis will be an interesting fight because the Thurman's he's a boxer puncher. He can move and still have decent power, throwing shots while he's in motion. And you know, I'm still scarred by that Karen Chukazan performance.
because he
So
has problems. He has problems with movers.
yeah,
As
so
as as, as
a guy
talented
with
as
some.
as
Oh, go
talented
ahead.
as he is, he has problems with movers.
Yeah, so a guy with sufficient lateral movement might be able to catch him in between the shot because Karen Chukazan, he was throwing shots, he was just getting out of there and using the totality of the ring after he did it. Now, just like I've argued with others, I seen Jerron Ennis throwing punches and doing a 360 afterwards, a la Deontay Wilder. So that performance under the big lights, like I said, I would need to see him under the big lights again for me to give a full analysis on if he's ready for stardom as everyone thinks he is. But I'm just wondering how long before some of the top guys that 140 decide to move up to 147 pounds, because if they're looking at it from the landscape, it's kind of wide open. Josh Taylor's already made his move up there.
I want to ask you this, Green. Like, you know how they were saying Crawford. They wasn't going to be convinced until he fight a coming opponent to Spence. You
Uh-huh.
think Boots need one or two showings? Because I know time is running out. Because Crawford have his rematch with Spence. It ain't going to be. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know if he's going to come back to 47. I know if the money's right, but it ain't too much of a money fight at 47 no more. More so 54 and 68 and all that shit. But how many showings do you think Boots need to be able to say, okay, yeah, we want to see him fight Crawford?
Um, well, honestly, W said it's not a showing for me. It's just a simple fact that the narrative that they're pushing that for some odd reason he's the most avoided fighter in boxing, and this was something that was attached to Crawford, but it was factual evidence behind this. And he proved on July 29th why he was the most avoided fighter, why he was the boogeyman, why he was kept on the other side of the fence and had to look in and watch everybody else fight until he got his chance to get in there. I think Jerron Ennis, I think he's got 31 fights now. Now he hasn't fought the level of competition that Crawford's fight has fought, but he has 31 fights. At some point, you got to take the training wheels off the guy and let him ride and see if he can balance himself out. Because from what I'm seeing, his record is being heavily padded.
Yeah,
Crawford's got the rematch with Spence. After that, if he's not able to get any of the bigger fights, at the other divisions, 154 pounds, 160 or 168. If there's enough money behind it, I definitely think he fight Jerron Ennis.
yeah.
I don't think there's a I don't think Jerron Ennis needs to fight anyone to get him ready for Crawford. If that's the question you asked me, because I don't think there's nothing he can do from what I see to beat Crawford. I think Crawford beats him in under 10 rounds, and that's just because he's young, youthful, and he stays in the gym, so he'll be in shape. But I still think he'll get beat
Would y'all
convincingly.
think? Would y'all think a bigger fight as an option to that? If Jamel Charlo then don't fight him to face Costa Zoo, I mean Tim Zoo rather at 54 just to earn another division to his legacy, even though it's for one belt.
I would love to see I'd love to see him fight Tim Zoo
I
because
think I like to see Tim Zoo better than I like to see freaking Boots Ennis because it just deals with him collecting another division. Plus Tim Zoo, you know, he got a lot of momentum on his side from that last performance.
and he's Tim Zoo is basically proven now,
Yeah, he proven. Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
there's
wouldn't
some
I
Philly
wouldn't mind
fans.
saying that either. I wouldn't mind saying that because it'd be a great showing. Outside of what goes on in the ring, I think it'll be a great event.
And there's any Philly fans in the chat, and y'all don't like what I'm saying about Boots, y'all really about to hate this. You can't be the most avoided fighter if you turned down two opportunities. And Boots, like I said about the Philadelphia Eagles last year, and I'm gonna compare it to I'm gonna compare it to Boots right now. They could very well be the goods in what everybody says they are, but I'm not gonna give them that title until I see them against somebody. Boots could very well be the goods, but I'm not gonna give him that title until he's in the ring with another top opponent. I mean, we talk about, yeah, and I'm not a Tank fan, but we talk about Tank all the time. But right now, Tank is more proven than you, Boots.
It's a lot of things you factor into that fight with Crawford and Boots. Even the War Council, like Bomag, Red Saul. That's like some Green Berets going against some ROTC kids in high school. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's not, the level of experience that they will have, the tactical approach that they will have. Like those guys, like they're serious business. You got a guy in Bosey Ennis that says he doesn't even watch film of other guys. You feel what I'm saying? Because I mean, I guess they're by their perspective, there's no need to
Where have we heard that
do
before?
battle analysis. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. I think the coaching is elite on Team Crawford's side, which will definitely give him an edge. Now, of course, Ennis has he has a youth advantage, but it's certain things in his game and his offense that can be picked apart. He likes to fight with his hands down.
Yeah, and that whole not watching film on other fighters. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, I heard the overlord of the furniture store say that before. Diddy James.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That shit crazy, man. I just hear people out here on the YTC continue to just give this guy passes, and they wouldn't give Crawford, man. Come on, he needs to fight. But yeah, when it was Crawford Spence build up, it's just Crawford ain't fought nobody. He ain't did enough. He should fight Kell Brook. He should fight Sean Porter. He do it, and the results are what they are. It ain't good enough until he beat his ass July 29th. Now it's all about cheating and loaded gloves.
Oh yeah, I'm wondering why that famous manager from Philadelphia hasn't been hasn't given any of his expertise on that that Menden North deal, and how that could have been properly mended.
Hey, you ain't lying, right, Green? How could that, per the boxing business, how could that could have been amended? You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean, come on, man.
I need to take road on that situation.
Hey, fellas, I'm about to
All
go ahead and
right.
get on up out of here. It was nice
All right,
talking to y'all.
expert,
All right.
All right, expert. Salute, bro.
for
Salute.
sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
I'm gonna
definitely like
hop
to
off
know
too,
that.
WCS. I'm gonna hop back in the chat and listen, man. I'm gonna go finish my workout.
All right, for sure, bro.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Across the spectrum and around the globe, we bring you World Combat Sports.
World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, yeah. World Combat Sports, yeah.